Mr. Speaker, the Liberals invited millions of migrants into Canada, knowing full well they didn't have the economic and social infrastructure to support them. Now Canada has a massive housing crisis, endless healthcare wait times, and countless Canadian youth without jobs. Newcomers themselves aren't to blame. It's the Liberals who misled everybody about Canada's capacity to absorb millions, especially under their government's economy-killing policies. Millions of people are now in Canada with expired or imminently expiring visas. How is the government going to ensure that they will leave?
Good question.
The Honourable Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. Thank you to my colleague for that great question. Today is a great day in the country. We introduced a very important bill that getting us to take steps to strengthen our immigration system and our integrity in the system while also upholding our humanitarian commitments. So as global migration patterns evolve due to conflicts and crises, Canadians expect a resilient and responsive immigration system, and that is exactly what we are doing.
Honourable Member for Calgary Knowles Hill.
So just to reiterate, by the end of this year, nearly 5 million people will be in Canada with expired or expiring visas, and the government has no plan on how they're going to get them to leave. We have a housing crisis, a youth jobs crisis, healthcare wait time crisis. And knowing this, the Liberals have already issued nearly 177,000 new temporary foreign work permits this year, a 10% increase from the last quarter. That's the same amount of people as Kelowna. Well, with a youth unemployment crisis, why did the government increase the number of temporary work permits this year?
The Honourable Minister of Immigration, Refugees and Citizenship.
Mr. Speaker, we take our immigration system very seriously on this side of the aisle, as I know all Canadians do. And for that reason, we are strengthening the integrity of our system while maintaining the humanitarian ability that we have in this country. Make no mistake, Canada takes its obligations seriously, and we are strengthening our asylum system to make it more efficient and more efficient and flexible. And we will be doing exactly that.
Listen, Lena. Listen to me, Lena. Canada does not need to be responsive to global migration patterns. Yeah. Canada needs to be responsive to Canadians. And what we are saying to you loud and clear, without any sugarcoating it, is there are too many immigrants in the country. Okay, they have had this many immigrants in this short of time has had such a negative consequence on Canadian standard of living. It is crazy. And here she is, we will uphold our commitments to humanitarian crises. Well, if you keep creating the humanitarian crises, then maybe you wouldn't have to try and clean up your mess this way, would you? Maybe, Lena?
Maybe creating it is the whole point. That's what it would seem, because MP Rempel is asking very common sense questions. If you're trying to get this under control, why are you bringing in more when it's so clear that this isn't what Canada wants or what we can afford? What is it? 817,000 just came in the first 4 months, I heard.
Insane. Insane.
This year.
Insanity.
Yeah, and we got to remember, what does that look like? What does that mean? Okay, so that means if they have kids, the kids are getting the child tax benefit. They get sort of like a it's time to get situated thing where they first come, and they get individual money. Like, this is so unaffordable, and they know that. That. Yep. So what is the actual plan? Is the plan to actually replace Canadians? I think that's fair to ask.
I think that's a fair assumption at this point, Drea. And just to back up this entire story, Blacklock's reporter had a great report that sort of dovetails with this, saying the federal government won't count deportees. So not only are we bringing unprecedented amounts of immigrants or temporary foreign workers into the country, they're not counting or keeping track of who's leaving. It is insane. It is insane. Yeah.
And how do you get them out of the country? I mean, I think, didn't Trump do something like offer $1,000 in a flight back or something like that? I don't know. How do you get them out?
It should be that simple. Here's your one-way ticket back.
Yeah.
Thanks so much for coming on an extended tour of Canada, but things are going well here for actual Canadians. So we're going to say we're going to part ways. We're going to part ways in a really friendly, fast way. We could use some of that Trump energy in Canada.
But if we're not keeping track of them, we can't even do that. We can't
No, we
even say,
can't.
here's $500 in a flight. Thank you very much. Nice knowing you.
But there's no check-ins. There's no accountability at all by the federal government. And again, this is probably by design.
Want to stay on top of the latest current events, but don't trust the mainstream media to help you do that? Then check out our daily live stream coverage of the latest news and totally unscripted at rebelnews.com/roundup.